I am certain that at some point in your life, perhaps through popular culture or social discourse, you have encountered the concepts of the alpha and beta male personality types. These labels, drawn from the Greek alphabet, serve as widely recognized archetypes used to categorize men based on their perceived social standing and behavioral patterns within the dominance hierarchy. The alpha male is traditionally viewed as the individual occupying the social apex, the leader, the decision-maker, the undisputed figurehead. Directly beneath him in this established structure resides the beta male, who often adopts a supportive, subservient, or following role. Generally speaking, the alpha is defined by his capacity to take charge, initiate action, and command attention, while the beta is content to follow direction and maintain the established order. However, the rigid framework of the alpha/beta dichotomy fails to account for the nuanced complexity of male personalities. Many men operate outside these narrow definitions, necessitating the introduction of other alphabet-based archetypes. Without question, one of the most compelling and rapidly expanding of these profiles is the Sigma male. The Sigma male is a fascinating anomaly because he is the lone wolf who fundamentally rejects identification with any fixed place within the hierarchy. He is not defined by the structure. Instead, he views the entire hierarchy as a tool, a mechanism he can leverage strategically to his advantage when necessary. He prizes freedom, self-sufficiency, and genuine independence above all else, consistently prioritizing solitude and self-mastery over the pursuit of external validation, material status, disposable money, or fleeting fame. I would like to delve into 5 defining, often subtle habits that encapsulate the existence of the Sigma male. Let's explore them now. 1. He goes left when the majority goes right. The Sigma male possesses, by his very nature, a contrarian core. He is an intrinsic nonconformist. He does not automatically follow the consensus or join the herd simply because it represents the path of least resistance. He maintains a deep skepticism toward mass action, preferring to chart his own course unless a compelling, rational justification exists to align with the masses. While he is certainly capable of being convivial and can genuinely enjoy social interaction and large gatherings, in the larger context of his life's journey, he is always inclined toward the path less traveled. The Sigma male keenly recognizes that herd behavior is often the predictable consequence of intellectual abdication, a phenomenon where individuals are easily led, like sheep following a shepherd, simply because they refuse to think critically for themselves. Because he holds a deep-seated aversion to arbitrary authority and groupthink, he finds himself inherently unfit for the majority mindset. When planning a trip, he consciously avoids the heavily advertised tourist traps, seeking out obscure, more authentic experiences. When he chooses to hike, he prefers the uncharted trails and unmarked wilderness. He is rarely susceptible to the fleeting grip of marketing hypes, transient trends, or waves of mass hysteria. This nonconformity, however, is not a radical denouncement of the world. When he deems it strategically useful, he can seamlessly blend in. He understands the dynamics of the collective. He knows precisely how to mimic the behavior of the herd, how to dress, how to converse, and even how to simulate their thought patterns. But this is the crucial distinction, his secret strength. He is never part of the herd. He is merely an observer operating within it. 2. He often goes on dates with himself. For most individuals, life is an intricate web woven from countless interpersonal relationships, bonds with colleagues, obligations to family members, connections with friends, interactions with classmates, and participation in various community or religious groups. While the Sigma male appreciates the value of healthy social interaction, he possesses a relentless and often mandatory craving for deep, uninterrupted solitude. When he is commuting home from work, particularly as the frenetic energy of a Friday night descends, he actively anticipates a necessary, lengthy intermission from the busy, loud, and demanding world. In the sanctuary of his solitude, his mind is anything but idle. It is a workshop where a million things are happening simultaneously. He might be dedicatedly developing a new business venture, engrossed in a complex creative project, or perhaps simply sinking into the profound quietude offered by a challenging book. He might enjoy the meditative ritual of solitary walks in the dense forest at dawn or seeking out an isolated swimming hole. Whatever the specific activity, he finds immense, rejuvenating enjoyment in his own company, demonstrating a profound internal self-sufficiency. 3. He travels alone somewhere far, far away. The widely accepted social norm for travel involves going in a group or at least a duo, a built-in safety net and shared experience. The Sigma male, however, frequently chooses the demanding path of solo travel. My own first experience of truly traveling alone, 5 years ago, remains a defining moment. There is an unparalleled feeling of profound liberation when you lock the front door of your house, knowing that the entire journey ahead, equipped only with a well-packed trolley and a small backpack, is entirely your own creation. It is a deliberate adventure away from the familiar constraints of your job, the predictable landscape of your hometown, and all the customary social circles that inhabit your personal environment. While traveling alone is inherently a solitary matter, it paradoxically fosters a heightened degree of connection. I have consistently found that when I travel independently, I encounter and engage with a significantly greater number of people. Traveling alone naturally makes one more vulnerable, and therefore more receptive to approaches from strangers. In contrast, the majority of group travelers tend to cling tightly to one another when navigating unknown territory, relying on their internal bubble for safety. The Sigma male consciously rejects such insulating behavior. He intentionally steps outside the perimeter of the safety bubble and faces the unknown world completely on his own terms. For he adapts like a master chameleon. At first glance, this habit may appear somewhat contradictory to the principle of fierce nonconformity outlined in the first point, but allow me to clarify. The Sigma male is the master chameleon of the social hierarchy. His capacity for objective observation enables him to effortlessly engage and connect with people from every conceivable layer of that hierarchy. As stated, he knows precisely how to perform the required actions of the herd without ever forfeiting his true, independent self. As the great martial artist Bruce Lee advised, "Be like water," and that axiom is the foundation of the Sigma's effectiveness. Whether he finds himself residing in the proverbial highest clouds of elite society or navigating the lowest, darkest parts of the social sewers, the Sigma male invariably finds the most efficient route to his objectives, much like a brook seamlessly finds its way to the pond. Even in the formidable presence of traditional alpha males, his subtle, fluid ways erode their rigidity and perceived toughness, just as a patient river eventually wears down the hardest rock. This profound adaptability is not weakness. It is his core strength. He doesn't fear inevitable change. He embraces it, realizing that change is the singular, unwavering constant in existence. Therefore, regardless of his geographical or social relocation, he quickly assimilates. In the land of the naked, he goes naked. In the environment of suits and ties, he wears a suit and tie. These outward conventions are merely superficial requirements. They are functionally meaningless to him. He regards them as a small, pragmatic price to pay to maintain his tranquility, simplify his interactions, and ensure he remains strategically under the radar. The Sigma male actively prefers a peaceful, easy, and tranquil existence over the exhausting burden of fame, constant attention, or the need to be perceived as a special snowflake. 5. He keeps silent when he doesn't understand. A vast number of people feel compelled to express definitive opinions on subjects about which they possess minimal knowledge or understanding. They engage in this behavior simply because they are seeking to look intelligent, project dominance, or monopolize the conversation's airspace. The Sigma male operates under a completely different code. He only speaks when he has something genuinely valuable, insightful, or accurate to contribute to the discussion. This condition is only met if he has fully understood and mastered the underlying subject matter. Furthermore, his core philosophy dictates that keeping one's mouth shut is superior to speaking most of the time. Constant chatter is counterproductive for 2 key reasons. Not only are you habitually giving away potentially valuable information, but crucially, you are also not listening. As the old adage suggests, he who knows does not talk. He who talks does not know. By maintaining a disciplined silence, the Sigma male not only avoids polluting the conversation with irrelevant nonsense, but strategically positions himself